Now you can see a couple of worms cruising around in here. This is a mixture of garden weeds, lawn clippings and old mulch and a little bit of worm castings or compost from previous heaps and garden beds. And you can see it's already starting to convert quite well. The worms got added in there about a week or 2 weeks ago. Now the worm farm garden bed system here consists of 3 baths, and underneath them, you can see they're mounted up on bricks. Underneath them runs a common gutter from which we collect the juice. In the early stages of conversion, the juice would be largely weed tea or grass tea, and then of course as the worms do their work, it converts more into worm juice. And normally what I'd do is I'd have the far bed would normally nearly be converted. I've made all of these at once, or just about at once, so they're at similar stages, but one of the beds would be nearly converted. The second bed would be less converted, and the third bed would be, as this one is, I just chuck some more weeds in there, the one that's being currently added to. You can see the worm juice and grass tea that I'm collecting out of here, and this has been covered with tin, which isn't ideal, but covered with tin to keep the rain out. Now, being added on bricks, you can see we're right on a major highway here, so it's a great site to be doing stuff like this. This brick wall, this could be finished in any way that is required. It could be finished to match the existing brickwork on the house, or it could be finished to match the limestone foundations, or it could be finished with a colourful mosaic that could say something like Parliament House of Australia Community Garden. And that mosaic could be designed by kids. It could be designed by kids in Washington. Evidently in Washington the administration over there's setting up gardens in the grounds of the White House, and there's no reason why a design couldn't be done in some other part of the world. But come back to reality a little bit. You can see from the basic structure here, and this is only a very simple prototype, all built out of waste materials, the capacity to add on, say, garden seating here, a table, that's my vegetable washer under there, and some polished granite I got from a building in Perth. But there's all sorts of things that can be added on here. I'll take you over here and show you where I propose to put the grey water treatment ponds. Now, this area here is above, this garden bed I'm pointing to over there, is above the point where all the grey water comes out of this house. Old houses have external plumbing pipes, so the grey water is easy to collect. And I have a bath under the veranda just there that serves as a holding tank, or will serve as a holding tank. And then this garden bed along here will be a series of ponds that are just simple biological filtering ponds, and the water from there would then come out of the last pond there via pipe and would feed in under here, and then be mixed with the worm juice and gravity fed onto the eggplants and greens and olives and things that we've got growing here. Aloe vera over there. Now, one of the weaknesses of this system is that in summer it gets very hot. So what I'm looking at is a system where, rather than the baths sitting up on bricks, the retaining walls would become a tank. So all this area under here would be holding grey water that's been treated in the biological ponds, so that the thermal cooling mass in that body of water would be in contact with all this bath area here and keep it cooler. Because I don't want to go to the problem of putting a roof over it. We've already got enough roof around here. And I want to keep the design as simple as possible and as functional as possible. Now, the other issue of functionality is it is designed to work in with this garden, which isn't looking that flash at the moment because I've been a bit lazy. But eggplants are doing well, marigolds, daisies. We've got rows of peas coming up here, lemongrass, garlic, nasturtiums, and the remnants of the compost heap. Now, last year, prior to getting a complaint from the Planning Commission, I had a bath located right here as a working worm farm, so that people going past, walking down the footpath, waiting at the bus stop, sitting in the bus pulling up, they got to see over a period of time that bath functioning as a worm farm and also as a productive garden bed. And I have been seen out here picking sunflower sprouts out of the top of the garden bed here that was in the bath and putting them on my Vegemite toast for breakfast in front of people who are going off to work. And the point was to show them that that waste that had originally gone into the bath that they'd seen as they were travelling past had been converted into something productive. And what's more productive in the long run than growing food? So the two systems are designed to work together, because it meant if I'm weeding here, say I'll pull that plant up, it can go straight into the worm farm. I don't have to cart it somewhere. At different times of the year, the worms will be more suited to living in here than in a bath, and vice versa. So that means I have two different systems operating in the same place that complement each other. When I want worms to put in here, I grab a handful out of the bath, chuck them in here. When I want worms to go in the bath that I've just set up, I just lift up a bit of cardboard or a paving slab that we make walkways out of through here and add them to the bath. I don't have to travel off my property. The idea is to be self-sufficient. The amount of waste that's come in here, nothing is added to this garden except organic seeds, cardboard and lawn clippings and weeds that are converted into waste. I don't have lawn here, so I import the lawn clippings, and the lawn clippings come predominantly from sporting clubs because they produce them in bulk. They're highly fertilised, so those lawn clippings are really concentrated nutrients. And just putting them on top of cardboard, which stops nutrient and water transfer into the ecosystem below, and under here there's several layers of cardboard. This stuff's just been added from an old potato bed we had over there last year. Underneath this mulch, there's the cardboard. Underneath that is last year's mulch that's converted, sitting on top of cardboard, junk mail and environmental booklets and all sorts of things. Anything that will slow down water and nutrients going into the ecosystem. Now, I don't claim this is an organic system. I have been a grade A biodynamic producer in the past. What we're looking at here is a sustainable system, the intensive local conversion of community waste into edible. Where's those eggplants? Oh, there they are, look. Into edible food, and a bit of colour around just to make it look nice. So this system, the baths, in the middle of an on-ground productive garden like this, and in several months' time, this will just be brimming with food, this area. We call that W'2F. The W is in inverted commas because it stands for waste. Waste is only waste if we don't use it as a resource. W'2F means waste to food. Thank you.